Hello, everyone. This is Avi Harkishin from AH Charts. We're going to analyze the indexes, SPY, QQQ, and IWM for a minute here. So let's take a look at the analysis that I sent out into the Discord on April 16, 2025. This here was done on April 15, the night before, forecasting April 16, 2025. I gave the key levels and resistance, etc., in the Discord. Talked about it, two different paths that I see moving forward. We had a supply zone right here, 542. Price keep getting rejected after hitting the whale's resistance here, and you have resistance of 544. So you're having a difficult time getting over these levels here, and also some gamma exposure, which I tend to discuss with the Discord. Very difficult getting above here. So you had a bear flag right over here, and I have two paths, and the one that I have here, the downside and the upside, I expected maybe today, if you can stay above this 535 area, maybe you can get above here, but you have to stay above 530. If not, you break below. The level that I have is between that 527 pull for gamma exposure or that whale's lower target, which is 520. And we look at SPY today, we hit that 520 level, whales target. Whales tend to hit their targets, so we focused on whales target here on those information because it has a high probability whenever you're trading, whenever you break a key level or above a key level. Now going into tomorrow, or April 17th, and looking at this 520 level here, very important level, crucial level to hold. As I said, do not short SPY if the price is holding this 520 level, because at the end of the day, coming into the end of, let me see, 5 minutes, because I like to look at the volume as well. You look at the 5 minutes, close at the 5 minutes here, into the 15 and the 30 minutes. Pretty decent volume kicked in. So what I'm looking for tomorrow, this level here that you're looking at, if you go to the daily level on SPY, this is pretty much a retest level, which SPY is currently in. So you want to see SPY hold this level here, 520. Once it starts dropping below this level, then you may see some more downside over here. We broke out of a pattern, and we pretty much did a retest. So let me just go back. So here you are. Yeah. So once SPY is above this level here, which is that 525 within this green box, it's in a consolidation stage pretty much. If it stays above 520, you don't want to go short. If it's dropping towards 520, you don't want to short it unless it's below 520, is rejecting 520. If that happens, then very much likely is going to come down towards this 503 level here to fill that 1 hour fair value gap, because you did break this bear flag. Keeps making higher highs, higher lows until you get on top here within that resistance level, and that's when you see the buyer's exhaustion kicked in, and you see some selling every time you hit that level. You saw selling, you hit that level again. You saw it here, you hit that level. You see some selling right at this key level here, and you just broke down, and you came back to the 520 whales target. Now again, above whales target, safe for going long. Below whales target, which is a 520, very much possible that you could break down even lower, because once you start breaking below this level here, looking at the 30 minutes, there is some volume gap on the shelf all the way down to that 503, around this 505 to 503 area. So once you start breaking here, you can start dropping. 515 is where you see a little bit of support here in the volume shelf, but pretty much this 503, 505, 503 you're looking at. So again, you don't want to short above 520. You break 520 and you get rejected off 520. That's a short signal. You get above 520 back into this range. That's consolidation level right here. So pretty much you could see something play out like this, maybe going to tomorrow. you can see this playing out, and you could just stay within this range here. Um, but I don't think you're going to get above 535 tomorrow if that's the case. And plus, last day of trading, anyways, Thursday, Friday, we're closed. So I don't think you're going to see much happening tomorrow in terms of a bull case. I don't think you're going to have much of a bull case. If anything, you have a consolidation or maybe some green in the morning and then some red in the afternoon. You're just going to have that ping pong back and forth for the day. And if you start breaking below this level here, then just be cautious because you could have that fill over here. Yeah, so I don't think you're going to see I don't think you're going to get above 535 tomorrow. Anyways, I think you're going to see within this range here of 520 to 534 max. That's going to be your range of trading tomorrow. So that's for SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ for tomorrow. QQQ is in a symmetrical triangle right here, as you can see. We're at that pivot level. We broke below the pivot level. We got back within that pivot level. For those of you who don't know what a pivot level is, it's whenever price tends to attract. It's like a mid-range of a range that you have. You have the upper range, you have the lower range. And within that range is a pivot level where price tends to go back. And if it's below that range, a pivot range, it tends to push down. And if it's above that range, it tends to push up, but it's going to attract to that range over and over again. It's an attraction to that range. It's like a magnet. Think of it as a magnet. Once you fall below, you continue below. Once you get above, you may push above it. But yeah, you're in a symmetrical triangle. A decision has to be made at some point. You have the resistance line right on top here for QQQ. Same thing with SPY. Got a little volume came in. You're in that pivot level 441, 446. You could keep trading within that pivot level. If you break out, I don't think you're going to get farther upside in terms of 455 would be like where I think you'll probably max out because you're not going to get above this line. Especially not in a short weekend. So if anything, you're going to see yourself stay within this range here. Tomorrow you might just ping pong back and forth within this range. If you do get up, you're going to get up to 455. I don't think you get higher than that. And then you keep pushing down, so you might see, push back down again. You could do something like this, but I don't think this is going to happen tomorrow anyways either. But you're within the range of 455, and let me see here, 455, and you're seeing some of the volume profile here, right here. That's where you see price came down today and you kind of held, which is this volume profile over here. So you can see price push back up right over here, 454. That will be your top, I think, going into tomorrow, but within the range of 454 and maybe 434. It's pretty big range. So yeah, that's your range. So it's a scalping for tomorrow again. I have level at the bottom here, which is 430, 417, which is the whale's target, which is 420. You can see QQQ come back down here tomorrow. So we're in that symmetrical triangle. So at some point you either get above here and then you break down to the downside at some point. So I still think you're going to break down to retest this bottom trend line for the symmetrical triangle. When, I don't know if it's going to do it tomorrow or next week. But yeah, but this is a key level here where you'll probably find some resistance, which is a real target of 455. And that's it for QQQ. Let's take a look at IWM. You have IWM here. You're in that bear flag pattern pretty much again. You have whales target of 590 and 200. You have a pivot level or resistance is 197, and you have whales target of 157. You have 184 here, which is like, think of it as a pivot level as well, or resistance level. If you're below this level, you could get pushed down towards this this level here. Just put support right here. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the chart, 178. So your target would be 178 if you're pushed below this level over here. So you can even see something like this, retest maybe, and come back down, and then you could break down here. So you see something like this play out, then you still have that lower target at some point where you could always come back and fill that lower target at some point. Don't think it's gonna happen tomorrow, but that will be the path going forward. Unless you get above 590, which is currently resistance, then you're gonna get to 197. But yeah, there's more pull to the downside, so you have to clear 190. This would be like a big area to clear if you want to really get above. If not, this is going to be like a fake out right here, and you start pushing to the upside. But yeah, so the path that I have, I think most likely is going to happen. It's going to be a bearish path than a bullish path, at least for the next day or two, or some consolidation. But the range I'm looking at tomorrow would be anywhere between 182 for QQQ for IWM I meant to 190. So I'm just gonna put this here. This would be the range I'm looking at for tomorrow to trade within. That will be your range. If you fall below this level here, you keep getting rejected off of that level, then you're probably more on the short side, and lots of volume here on this shelf. So you're going to find a lot of support here, which is 182 all the way down to 178 area. And that's where you saw the price just dropped and it went back up a little bit, find some support there. But yeah, that's it pretty much for SPY, QQQ, and IWM going into tomorrow. Those are the levels. Hopefully this video was helpful to anybody that's watching it. Again, levels for SPY. You're not short while it's above 520. When it comes back up this range, you can see something like this, and then you can see that sell off over here. You got to watch the volume and how it's reacting. All right, guys, take care.